Hey y'all, and welcome back to another review Life of Chester for Beyond the Gates, June 6, 2025. Okay, so nothing too much happened on this episode except Kat found the gloves and the helmet. She found the gloves and the helmet, and Bill had a stroke. Well, from the looks of it, he had a stroke. But okay, y'all. So first things first, like I said, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. Um, so we're gonna start with Eva and Kat. Eva was on the phone with Laura, basically saying she was glad to help her or whatever. And at the end, towards the end of the episode, looked like Laura had called her back again asking for help. I said, yeah, they're gonna need Eva back. But Kat was behind Eva, but she didn't see her. I'm assuming she was trying to find out how long she was gonna be so she could go to that hotel room. But after that, she ended up leaving and going to the hotel room. So she ended up talking to, I'm assuming he was the doorman, or I don't know what they call y'all. But she convinced him to let her into Eva's room or whatever. She said she was her sister and she got the wrong key. So he let her in, and at first he was trying to stay there with her, but she ended up giving him money so that he could go away. But so then she started looking around for it or whatever, and she couldn't find it. So it was under the bed, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was under the bed. I thought it was gonna be in a dresser or something, cause I thought they showed Eva looking through it, and then she seen that it was missing, but it looked like it was under the bed because when Kat got under there, she didn't have nothing. She left the box in the middle of the floor, and then when she was under there, she was going through the bag. So I don't know if she found it somewhere else or what, but yeah, Kat found it, y'all. She found it, and she took it to. I was like, wasn't she supposed to take it immediately to Jacob or whatever? But it looked like on tomorrow Saturday, on next week's episode, Jacob gonna be telling her that the gloves and the helmet was an exact match, and she said they're much closer to putting away Leslie or whatever. And I said they finna lock both of them up. They finna lock both of them up. What else happened? I think Chelsea and Kat gonna be at Danny's house because Andre gonna be walking in. I think he gonna be looking for her. And then Vernon gonna come to the house or whatever while Danny and Andre in the bed. Now I don't know if he gonna walk in on them or what, but it looked like everybody finding out about Andre and Danny. What else happened? Um, Naomi talking to somebody and she's saying that Bill had a stroke or Bill sick because of her. I was like, what's she talking about? Is she talking about because of the stress or what? But yeah, let me scan these notes. Chelsea and Naomi was talking about Kat and the fact that she's obsessed with the whole Jacob thing, and Jacob keep telling her to stay out of it, but she ain't listening. The Madison lady ended up coming, and they showed at the end of the episode, y'all, that Madison lady that she met, she is a doctor, or she playing a doctor. One, I don't know, because y'all know. Hold on. Yeah, at the end of the episode when she came in, it had on her jacket, Madison Montgomery or whatever, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever. So it look like she a doctor, y'all. I don't know. What else? But yeah, with Naomi and Chelsea, they end up talking about her because she showed up or whatever. And Chelsea was saying she know her, and she introduced her to Naomi. Hey, how you doing? How you doing today? But yeah, she introduced her, and then she just left again. And Naomi was like, she don't know, she getting a weird vibe from her. I said exactly, and Chelsea just over here fascinated by the lady. I said, what she done did to make you fascinated by her? She ain't said nothing really. She been letting her talk. Maybe she a doctor and she working a side job or something. But yeah, I said you been doing all the talking, and Naomi basically said that she was like, sound like to me you don't really know her, and she mysterious. Anytime you try to ask her something, she leave and stuff. I was like, right. But yeah, what else happened? Like I said, the highlights of the episode was the fact that one, Kat finally got the evidence she was looking for. Two, Bill had a stroke. What else happened? What you call know now about the gambling. Vanessa know now about the gambling, and they made it seem like this was Doug idea or something. That made it seem like it was Doug's idea to use Vanessa business or whatever. I said, nah, she over here talking about, so you got in bed with Joey? No, you got in bed. She's like, what she said? How she said it, y'all? She talking about so you get in bed with Joey? I said, no, you got in bed with Joey. Well, not the bed, but on the table or whatever you want to call it. I said, I don't know how to feel about this because like they both have a reason to be upset, but she acting like she more so have a reason. What's that? Oh, I got a notification. Hold on. I said, but she been cheating all this time or whatever. Then she waited till he left to confront Joey and saying she had feelings for him, or she was excuse me, that she was developing feelings for him and all this other extra stuff. But we're gonna get to that part in a minute, y'all. What else happened with Naomi now? Like I said, the Madison lady ended up leaving. So they started talking about Bill and his health and the fact that he went home instead of staying at the doctor. I think around that time, that's when Derek ends up calling Naomi to say that Bill's in the hospital. And when the doctor came in, I think she said she was gonna run some type of test in regards to stroke. So yeah, it looked like he had a stroke, y'all. But I said, with a stroke, don't they say is his ability gonna be limited or something? I know somebody was saying that maybe he's gonna end up in a wheelchair, and that's how we're gonna see who Haley really is, or that she ain't gonna want him no more. But yeah, she was upset, and she was saying she was hoping that it wasn't a stroke, but she heard the doctor said something about a stroke. Before that, she was telling him how he needed to be. Wait, was she talking to him then? She was saying something about she can't raise this baby alone. Look, my review all over the page, all over the place. Bill and Haley. So he came back to the house and she was questioning him. She was suspicious. She was like, "Why'd you leave work early?" She was like, "She worked for him, so she know that he don't never do that or whatever." And soon as she left, I think she went to get him a drink or something like that. He was struggling. He was struggling then. But yeah, they started talking and they was just flirting and stuff. She said something about she had to go get a dress for an event or something like that. But yeah, they start kissing or whatever, and then next thing you know, he starts stuttering his words, slurring his words or whatever and everything. And she ended up calling 911. They brought him into the hospital. I think Ashley and Derek was standing up there talking then. Yeah, I think Derek and Ashley was standing up there talking then, and that's how he ended up calling Naomi to let her know that Bill was brought into the hospital. What else happened? Joy, Vanessa, Doug. So Vanessa and Joy was just talking about the time they had. They had a time last night. They was talking about the time they had up on that table, whatever. And I think he told her something about we waiting on one more person. She was like, "Who?" And he was like, "Your husband." So he walked in or whatever, sat down, like everything all cool and sweet and stuff. So that's when he ends up saying that he was in debt. That he was in hold on. That he was in debt $250,000, and she was upset about it, and she was like he should have came to her about it. That's yeah, and he went to him and was told that you sleeping around with multiple men. I mean, he knew he suspected, and I think she did own up to it, and that's when she tried to make it seem like he was cheating too. But yeah, what else happened with them? They was talking about what they shared, and that's when he came. Joy reveals that Doug Gamble he owes $250,000. Joy tells Vanessa tells Joy he not getting anywhere near her business or whatever. And I think Doug was like, just hear him out and everything. And then she slapped after he left. She slapped him. She's talking about that's the first time since marrying Doug that she ever started to feel something for somebody outside of just having sex. I said, "This is what you get." I said, "This is what you get running around judging people. Then gonna have the audacity to say, you don't got in bed with Joey." I said, "Girl, you don't got in bed with Joey. What you talking about?" I know that's what they say, but still. Hold on, wait, let me see what the comment says. A person could lose feeling on one side of the body in the stroke. Okay, yeah. So I'm interested to see how far they're gonna play this out or whatever. What else happened? Eva and Tomas, they was at the restaurant talking and just talking about books and his job. He was talking about Bill and the fact that he had to go to the hospital. I said, these folks be telling all the business, telling everybody. They don't care who it is. But she said there's no love lost right there because of what he did to her mama. What else did they talk about? I think that's when Tomas told Eva that Bill had to go to the hospital, ask how things are between her and Leslie, and she was just saying how they not speaking to each other. And she implied that now her mama got to get on her good side because she has insurance or whatever. And he was trying his best to get it out of her about what type of insurance. I said, you done messed yourself up. That's what you done did. You done messed yourself up. But I feel like either they're gonna prove that she didn't know about it. Maybe Leslie would do the right thing, or maybe Ted gonna have to pull some screens to get her out of there, or be a one. But yeah, what else? Yeah, she was like she had insurance or whatever, and I was like, girl, Kat finna get that insurance, and she got it. So they went back to the hotel to get the book or whatever. So as soon as she came in, the box right there. I know she might not have had enough time. I was like, girl, you done left the dog. She done left the doggo box right there. Even noticed that as soon as she came in. But Tomas was like, maybe, the housekeepers or somebody had her. She was like, maybe you're right, but she kept looking at it. She knew something was off. And I'm assuming next week she gonna check to see where it is. What else happened? Um, so she ends up giving him a book, and then they were just talking, and she tried to kiss him. She tried to go in for a kiss, and he rejected her. He was saying that he started and he got something. He think he got something special with Kat. And I look, she just under the bed smiling and stuff. She just under the bed smiling and stuff. But yeah, he was like, he think he has something special with her. He ain't never met nobody like that before or whatever. And I said, what's gonna come in between them is his friendship with Eva. But yeah, or her obsession with Eva. But yeah, so she was like, don't tell anybody about this," and he agreed or whatever. And she was like, "Can we still be friends?" And he was like, "Yeah." Kat just under the bed, just a smiling. So Laura ends up calling her again, asking for her help. So she left out to go. And that's when Kat got her excuse me, got up under the bed and left. And I was like, and she went to the restaurant. I was like, what'd you go to the restaurant for? But yeah, you know that crazy lady always popping up there. But what else? Was that the last thing? I think she was at the restaurant talking to herself, saying how she finna go to jail, or they finna go to jail, and how everybody said, you know, that it wasn't like that. He was just so innocent and all this other stuff. And she was like, she got him now. Let me see. I think that was it. Ashley and Derek. Oh, I forgot about them. Cause they always over here. Y'all know if y'all watch the show what they be doing. They were here. He came by whatever. She was questioning him about that. She was like, "You're not hurt, are you?" Or whatever. Basically, she's saying what you doing there. And they was talking and they was agreed that they missed each other now that they don't live together and they miss certain things or whatever. I said, y'all didn't make up y'all mind. Golly. Y'all didn't make up y'all mind. But yeah, I think that's everything. Naomi said she was getting weird vibes from that Madison lady. Derek tells Naomi, we talked about that. I had wrote down when that lady came in. I said, that lady back again. She do seem like she kind of watching Chelsea or them or something, because she do be popping up or whatever. And she said she came back. I don't know. She said she came back for cheesecake. She came back for something, but I'm assuming she watching them. We'll see down the line. But yeah, I think that was it. Didn't nothing happen. Oh, the other thing that they showed next week looked like Anita, Tracy, and Sharon. They talking or whatever, and look like they gonna actually do the reunion. But we'll see. But yeah, I think that's everything, y'all. Let me see. Vanessa said Joey played her, that she felt something for him. He thinks they have something special. Yeah, we talked about all that. That's it. Wait, let me scroll down. Yeah, that's it, y'all. Let me know your thoughts down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day, a great weekend, and be safe.